Throwing smoke. Throwing fire. Incendiary out. Let's go, get this done. Bomb has been planted. I'm defusing the bomb. We are terrorists win. Let's go, people. Smoke! I am planting the bomb. Bomb has been planted. Terrorists win. Let's go. It's our day. Throwing smoke. I'm throwing a flashbang. Flashbang. I'm throwing smoke. Throwing a flashbang. Landing. Grenade. Terrorists win. We will defeat the mercenaries. I'm throwing smoke. Smoke. Throwing a flashbang. Smoke. Smoke. Throwing fire. I am planting the bomb. Bomb has been planted. Grenade! Flashback! I'm throwing a flashback. I'm throwing a flashback. Grenade! Terrorists win. It is going to explode. Let's go, my brother. Let's go. Throwing a decoy. Flashbang. Throwing a flashbang. Terrorists win. Let's go. Smoke! I'm throwing a flashbang. Smoke! I'm throwing a grenade. Terrorists win. Let's go. Let's go. Flashbang. Fire in the hole. I'm throwing smoke. Smoke!
Counter-terrorists win.
Let's go! Let's go! Throwing a flashbang. Throwing fire. Grenade! Flashbang. Blending.
Bomb has been planted.
Throwing a flashbang.
Terrorists win.
We will defeat the mercenaries. Incendiary out. I'm throwing a flashbang. Smoke! Burn! Throwing a flashbang. Flashbang. I am planting the bomb. Throwing fire.
Terrorists win.
throwing smoke. Smoke! Molotov! I am planting the bomb. Grenade!
Bomb has been planted.
Flashbang! Flashbang! I'm throwing a grenade. Defusing the bomb.
Terrorists win.
Let's go, people. Throwing a flashbang. Flashbang. I'm throwing a flashbang. Flashbang. Grenade.
Dance, put that upper belt, put that upper belt.
We will drive them from our lands. Throwing fire. Throwing fire.
Counter-terrorists win.
We will make them cry. Smoke! Incendiary! Decoy is out. Flashbang. Smoke!
Counter-terrorists win.
Let's go! Go! Throwing a flashbang. Incendiary. I'm throwing smoke. I'm throwing a grenade. Planting.
Bomb has been planted.
Smoke!
Terrorists win.
Be safe. Let's go, my friends. Flashback.
Throwing fire.
I'm throwing a flashbang. Smoke! Grenade!
Throwing a grenade.
Smoke!
Counter-terrorists win.
We shall
Get this
rule
over
the day.
with. Decoys out.
I am planting the bomb.
Bomb has been smoke. Grenade. Terrorists win.
Take care of yourself.
Incendiary out. Grenade out. Throwing flashbang. Throwing flashbang. Deploying flashbang. Terrorists win.
It is all on one individual products. Now everything is related to one particular domain. But overall, how digital transformation is happening in enterprises, how customers are looking at digital transformation, and what kind of talent that we will have to develop for the IT industry. So we are going to have one Sriram Parthasarathy from DXC Technologies who will address us on Saturday. So this is scheduled for next 4 days. And definitely you'll have to go back and register. Now, when I say register, you have to register for the session. You have already registered if you have already registered in the portal of ICT Academy Sky Campus, you will be getting a mail today after the session saying that now the registration is open for next 4 days. So for each day, you will have to select each of the day and register yourself, because whatever registration you have already made, you have selected for the first 5 days till today. And there will be a new mail which will come to you today that you can use to register for tomorrow onwards. That mail will come to you by before 3 p.m. today, so that you can use that mail link to register for the next 4 day session. I think that's all for that's the message that I had for now. And so today it's going to be a very different session, as I mentioned already. We have been having sessions specific to computer science streams and IT streams so far, but today it's going to be a little different, as I mentioned yesterday. Now the future of making is a session which we are going to witness, and the future of design, because design is earlier people used to link it with the stream of mechanical and civil, but now it has become a kind of a very, very interdisciplinary practice. If you look at, whether it be designing a product or prototype, or whether it be architecture or whatever, today, computers or IT play a major role, which, right from AutoCAD time, we have been witnessing. So even when we did this India Design Week, the experts from Autodesk who came, who were very keen that, people from computer science, mechanical, and different domain work together to really come up with the product, electrical, electronics, everybody. So it has now become a very, very interdisciplinary subject, the future of design and the future of making. So that's the reason we invited even computer science and IT faculty members to join this session. Of course, mechanical, civil, everybody are here. That's for the benefit of Anand to just get an understanding. And we are very happy to have one of the senior person from Autodesk, Anand V. Pujari, who will deliver us this session. He's got strong 2 decades of experience in program management, technical support, and work as a design engineer, etc. So he works towards driving adoption of Autodesk tools within technology and academic curriculum. So he knows what the future workforce is all about. What kind of tools are required for the students, or what kind of tools are prominently used in the industry. What is the scope of each and every tool, and how to really make an industry ready professional. I'm sure he is an expert in that area. So I'm very happy to present Mr. Anand to this audience. Anand, can you welcome Anand on behalf of Vice Academy and the team. And session is up to you. Over to you, Anand.
Thank you, Anbu. Thank you so much. Thank you for that great introduction. Of course, yeah. So let me. So for the bandwidth benefit, so I think the video was fine until now. People are able to see me, whom they are listening to. So what I'll do is to just say the bandwidth. I'll just switch off my video and only be on the audio, and then I'll share my presentation and start the session.
You can open up your presentation so that by default your video will go down.
Okay.
Okay.
Throwing smoke. Diffusing. Bomb has been defused.
All right. If you can confirm me that if you're able to see my first slide.
Yes, it is visible. Please go ahead.
Great. Thank you so much. All right. Good morning, all. As Anbu introduced me, my name is Anand Pujari. And I am an education account manager at Autodesk right now. I mean, I have 20 plus of years of experience, as you mentioned. And of the last 18 years, I'm with Autodesk working in different departments as a program manager, as a technical specialist. And now I'm working as an education account manager, where I'm trying to help the education community to adopt the latest technologies that are available or that are available through Autodesk portfolios, and helping the students, educators, I mean, especially the students, making them ready for the industry requirements. So here is the quick agenda. Before I just jump into the detailing of these things, again, I just want to confirm, was the audio and my pace is okay, Anbu?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much. All right, so here's the agenda that I intend to cover for this session. So the whole objective of this session is to explore the integrated concept of how product design is used, playing its role for the future of making. We'll look into at how the world is changing with respect to the design and make. So in detail, what we'll cover in today's session is the future of making. And then we'll look at some of the customer success stories, how they have adopted the latest technologies and brought different kinds of products into the market. Then of that little bit non-technical, we'll see how Autodesk is playing its role in the education community. And even like the ICT Academy collaboration sessions, like how we are trying to help the education community in this pandemic COVID situations. And finally, at the end of the sessions, we'll see what are the different takeaways that we can carry from this webinar or from this session. So in this slide, what I really would like to highlight is that how Autodesk is providing the critical insight across all the industry segments. I mean, we are talking about the topic called as future of making. The future of making is already here. I mean, what we are seeing is the complete convergence of the things, how they are being made, be it any kind of an industry. If you take the architecture, building, or construction industry or infrastructure industry, it's totally changed. I mean, the way the things are being made, I mean, prefabricated is being the primera of these construction industries, where it's been prefabricated, brought onto the site and assembled at the sites. That's the way the future is looking at it. It's not only restricting to the construction industry. If you look at the media and entertainment industry as well, they are acting like a car manufacturing or car designing
Has been planted.
companies, where when a car is being manufactured, it's been planned and developed well in advance before a concept car is brought into the market. I mean, that's where even the media and entertainment is working towards visualization, entertainment, be it in terms of filming or gaming, plan everything before the actual production is being done. So that's the way people are thinking differently from the future of making. So what is common across all these industries? If you look at it, the basic common thing across all these industries is the design, make, and use. So what we are seeing is the link between the design and make is getting closer and closer. And even the feedback loop from the users is getting tighter. So what does this mean is, like, when the design, make, and use boundaries are being disappear, when the boundaries between these three elements disappear, then we will see a different kinds of products come into the market. What we will see is the real-time feedback from the use and from the and the environment or the system environment. So that's what we will look into it in today's session. I mean, how we'll go in detail about how these three elements are differentiating themselves in detail. So first we look at the design part of it. Now, design doesn't mean it's not the traditional way of working in silos. We have a set of design engineers sitting and working on a product, and that product coming into the market. Today's world, design means increasing in collaboration. So technology is helping more and more people to come together and collaborate and work on a complex projects. And not only that, the crowdfunding coming into picture. So the design or the innovation is not just restricted only to the big industries. So it's anybody has an idea, anybody has an innovation can get their product faster to the market. And it's not only that, we have a huge change in the way the cloud computing is taking its power. I mean, what we are seeing is that we can access the data, be it any data or the design data, anywhere, anytime, through any device. So that's the difference, the change that we are seeing in terms of the design. Now, when it comes to the make part of it, as I said earlier, that if you look at the construction industry itself, the way the things are being made is totally different. Construction industries are acting like the manufacturing industries, where things are being made well in advance and they are being bought and assembled at the sites. That's the change. That's the future of making. So if I have to take, I'm based out in Bangalore. So if I have to take an example, I'm not sure those who are from Bangalore, they will understand. The previous government has a challenge of building, they had a target of 101 Indira canteens to be built within a 3 months time period. Now, if I have to think, if we all have to think, if that's going to be a traditional way of approach in constructing these 101 units in 3 months, it is a big challenge. So we have a precasting fabrication unit near Coimbatore. Then they integrated with us. Everything was pre-fabricated there, and they bought all those things and assembled it. And they were successfully able to achieve the target within 3 months, building 101 units. That's the change. That's the future of making. It's not only that. If you look at the way the metro construction was started, like maybe a decade back, so everything was on site. Now today, when we move around across the cities where the metros are being constructed, you see so many fabricated units are being bought and assembled. So that is what I intend to say. It's not just restricted to one industry. Every industry is changing towards that. Now, as I said, innovation is not just restricted to the big industries. There is nothing that we have to build a factory. If I have an idea and innovation to get a product into the market, I don't have to build a huge factory. Micro factories are coming into picture. So if anybody has an idea, they can get their product into the market. And it's not just restricted to the make of it. The make is converted into a personalized touch. Now, if you look at the example here, the headset or the headphones, there is an industry which actually scans your ear and produces these which exactly fits to your earbuds and gives a high quality of sound. I mean, people are looking into that direction, not at one kind of a mass production. So the personalized touch for the products is also becoming more and more important. Now, when it comes to the phase of use, so there is a deeper integration, or there is a greater connection is happening between the digital and the physical. So what does that really means is the sensors are playing a bigger role as well, and the data that it gets from the things or the products is becoming very, very important for the designers as well as the makers, so they can bring a better quality product to the market. Now, even under the digital environment, what we used to do is when we design our products, it was virtually we used to just see it on our computers. Now the 3D printing coming into a picture where my product, I can really touch and feel and see how exactly it looks from all the directions and get the feeling that yes, this product is exactly the way I have designed it. So what we are seeing, there is a new set of generation of people that are coming and using the designing and making in a different way and getting different kinds of products. So as I said, again, the design or the innovation or the make is not just restricting it to the bigger industries. So anybody has an idea, they can easily get their product to the market very faster. Let us pause a little bit and go back to a little bit of history of how the transformation of eras happened. The first era we saw was the era of documentation, where Autodesk was a disruptive in this era, where Autodesk moved its customers. Autodesk helped the industry from a pencil and a paper to a 2D drawing on a digital environment. Yes, I'm talking about the very flagship product of Autodesk, that is AutoCAD, which is a norm of every industry, small, big, medium, educational, everywhere. Autodesk is becoming kind of a very common product to be used across. So that is the change we saw in the era of documentation. Now, everything was good. It was on a 2D paper. The geometries, the text, the dimension information, everything was accurate, precise. But what really was challenging was like, how can I make a decision, or how can I really visualize my product? That was a big challenge. So everything, that decision was either by intuition or by judgment. So that's how still a lack in the times of era of documentation. So then we moved from the era of documentation to the era of optimization, where the optimization played an important role, where we moved from a 2D environment to a 3D environment, where digitally we were able to actually see how the product looks from all the different angles. It's not only that, we were able to simulate appropriately, we were able to do the analysis on our component products or the design before it was actually built. So a huge reduction in the prototyping environment, right? So and we had a very good predictive information with respect to the 3D design models. So 3D design definitely gave us a lot of predictive information, profound insights about the design, as well as precision and accuracy. It gave us an information and understanding how the things go together, how the things interact together. That's how the design of the era of optimization took place. And now we are in the era of connection. So what does this really means is that we are going beyond the optimization things. So we have to optimize how the product is built, that which interacts with other systems, which works with the other systems. So that is the change that we are seeing today. Here's a very much the example of how I mentioned the era of connection. So as I said, the physical and the digital are getting closer and closer. So people on the site, on the construction site, are able to use the digital environment. They are using the drones to see the validations, to see the construction site and gather information that are more relevant to build better products, more relevant for them to think how the future of making can change in terms of the design and make. It's not just restricting to one industry. As I said, even the advanced manufacturing industries are not lagging behind. There are robots being used. There is automation being increased in this. There are 3D printing being increased in this. There are drones are being used to man the factories as well. So all these devices, all these things are becoming a common factor in terms of how the future of making things are being changed. So if I have to explain about this GE example, so GE has built this intelligent system, secure system where it collects the data, and this system collects the data and feeds back to the rail engineers who can work on the design and utilize that data and make a better intuition, or make a better design, or make a better assumption of what's happening in terms of this design and make things, so and get a better product to the market, and a predictive system as well. So as I said, the era of connection is so different that the data can be accessed through any means. So it can be through any device and anywhere from any platform. So that's what is the change of era of connection. So we cannot now work in silos or be ourselves. The data is available. You can interact with multiple people across the globe and get your things done. Here is a beautiful example I would like to highlight in terms of make. So we have this Lightning motorcycle company where Richard Hadfield is the owner of it. He has 6 people working in the garage, and he always dreamt about the motorcycles and motorcycle designing. So one of the things that he really wanted to do was build an electric motorcycle, and that he wanted to really build in comparison to the combustion motorcycles. So he wanted to really compete his product with respect to the combustion motorcycles that are currently available in the market. So what he really did was, how did he made a difference? How did he was able to successfully get his product into the market? Is he adopted the latest technology. So one of the technology that Autodesk talks about is the generative design. So he implemented generative design in his design process, in his make process, where he manufactured lighter products, much stronger products, and was able to successfully build this vehicle and bring it into the market. So that's the people are differently thinking and adopting the new technology to bring different kinds of products into the market. Now, let us talk about an industry where the weight carries a major role. Yes, you guys are right that I'm talking about an automotive industry. And what you are seeing currently on my screen is the assembly line of a General Motors. So General Motors always adopted newer technologies and automation in its assembly line to bring different kinds of products, to bring improvements in its products as well. So, and it just didn't stop there. It automated to an extent where what we really see today, can you believe, every minute a car rolls out from the assembly line. So you can see how they are able to achieve this with the adoption of technology. And it is not just that. If you imagine, if I tell you that there are 30,000 plus parts